You're welcome to the Messiah channel. We are an end time channel. Today we are focusing on the four principalities and the assignments for the end times. I refer you to the book of Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. Apostle Paul talked about principalities and powers. We do not wrestle flesh and blood. We wrestle against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Just for your information, I've done research about the principalities and powers, and I would say that there are four main principalities and we have 8 powers, in addition to the rulers of darkness and the spiritual forces that operate in the dark kingdom of Lucifer. In today's video, we are focusing on the 4 principalities, and these are the things that you have to know. The 4 principalities are Satan's field marshals. These are the generals of Satan working on the ground in the dark kingdom. Together, the 4 principalities possess more power than Satan. So if the 4 principalities combine their power, they will be more powerful than Lucifer. So Lucifer is very careful the way he deals with the 4 principalities. He allows them to operate and bribes them, because if they combine their powers, they will be able to overthrow Lucifer. And a house that is divided cannot stand. The 4 principalities also give orders for other demonic agents to follow. And you will know that under the 4 principalities we have 8 powers. We also have many demonic spirits and agents, including human beings who work for the principalities. The demonic spirits, they work for the principalities because they have to work for the principalities. Ultimately, when Lucifer is cast into the lake of fire, the spiritual wickedness and demonic spirits, they will also be cast into the lake of fire. So the principalities command the spirits to work for them. There are human beings who also work for the principalities. When you have a human being working for the principalities, they do that for money, for power, or for sex. And so if you have a president of a country working for the principalities, he is doing that for money, for power, or for sex. And if you have a rich billionaire who has money but working for the principalities, he's probably working for power, he's working for fame, he's working for sex. So let's go over the 4 principalities. The first one is Apollyon, Apollyon. What is his end time assignment? Apollyon is responsible for spreading false religion. And according to my research, the secrets of the dark kingdom, Apollyon was responsible for initiating one 120 false religions in the 5th century BC, way ahead of the birth of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. And so before Yeshua came to the world, Apollyon had propagated 120 false religions. And so you can imagine how many false religions we have 2,000 years after the death of the Messiah. Apollyon's end time assignment is to promote false religion. And so if you hear about people talking about prosperity gospel, when people are talking about the fact that once you are saved forever, when the Pope is talking about ecumenism and Christendom and one world religion, they are all false religions promoted by Apollyon, who is one of the principalities in the dark kingdom. And Apollyon is also supported by two powers below him, and the powers are Ashtaroth and Baal, B-A-A-L. You remember the statue of Baal was installed in New York, and it is an indication that they are promoting false worship, false religion. Number 2, the second principality, his name is Abaddon, A-B-A-D-D-O-N. And the meaning of Abaddon means eternal destruction, final destruction. So you know that the end time assignment given to Abaddon is eternal destruction. Okay, so I refer you to the book of Revelation chapter 9 verse 11. If you go to the book of Revelation chapter 9 verse 11, you will see the names of these angels there, Apollyon and Abaddon. And Abaddon is the Hebrew word and Apollyon is the Greek word. And so the assignment given to Apollyon in the dark kingdom is different from the assignment given to Abaddon in the dark kingdom. Abaddon, as I said, means eternal destruction. What is his end time assignment? The end time assignment given to Abaddon: polluting and corrupting habits. Abaddon is responsible for polluting and corrupting people's habits, changing people's lifestyles, for people to engage in corrupting habits, including smoking, drug use, drug abuse, entertainment, and worshipping of music, rock music, bestiality, incest, fornication, and all other ungodly sexual acts that have the purpose of corrupting human beings. And you have to remember the scripture. Don't you know that your body is the temple of the Lord? You who destroys the temple, he will God destroy. So if you are destroying your body with these corrupting habits and influences, you are corrupting the temple of God, and according to the scriptures, according to the writings of Paul, you will be destroyed. And those who know Abaddon, they describe him as a tall, black, foul-smelling demon. Abaddon is a tall, black, foul-smelling demon. He smells very bad. His assignment is to corrupt people's habits, for them to engage in ungodly acts that ultimately will destroy them because they will go to hell. Remember that the book of Revelation says heaven will be excluding people who are not holy. And you have to remember the book of Galatians chapter 9 verse 21 going, there are certain things when you engage in, including corruptible and corrupting habits. If you engage in those things, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. So let's go to the third principality. The third principality, his name is Belial, Belial, Belial. And in the dark kingdom, Belial is called the god of this planet, the god of this earth. And you have to remember that this world is controlled by Lucifer. He is the prince of this world. And you can know more about it when you read John chapter 14, verse 30, where Lucifer is described as the prince of this world. Lucifer is assisted by a principality called Belial. What is the end time assignment of Belial? The end time assignment of Belial is to create war and death. War and death. Staging wars, instigating wars, and also causing people to die. You remember that war and death are plagues that will come to the world in the end of times. There will be wars and there will be deaths, and the death will come from so many things, whether you're talking about wars, whether you're talking about diseases, whether you are talking about pandemics. And so if they do something in the world that causes so many people to die all of a sudden, you know what I'm talking about. It's probably the work of Belial, one of the principalities working for Lucifer in the kingdom of darkness. When we're talking about wars and deaths, remember how many people are dying recently. There are so many people dying now, and people cannot explain why they are dying because of pandemic, because of what people have planned, because of wars. And when we're talking about wars, I remember First World War, I remember Second World War, and now they are planning World War III. And when we're talking about war, consider even the United States. How many wars has U.S. fought? And as a result of these wars, how many people has U.S. killed? And when we're talking about wars, look at the wars going on in Africa, in Latin America, in Asia, in the Middle East. In the end times, Belial will be on assignment for Lucifer to cause more deaths and more wars. And Belial is assisted by one of the powers, and the power's name is called Magog, M-A-G-O-G. So Magog is a power assisting Belial. You have to remember that we have 4 principalities and 8 powers, and Belial is responsible as a principality for war and death. And he's assisted by a power, and the name of that power is called Magog. And so, with the help of Magog, Belial as a principality is assigned to the role of causing wars and death in the end times. Let's go to the last principality. His name is called the Beast. The beast, you know the beast. The beast is reserved for the end times. If you read the book of Revelation chapter 13, the whole world will be given to the beast, and he will be given power to make war with the saints of the Most High and overcome them, overcome the saints. The beast will be responsible for bringing one world religion, and the beast will also be responsible for false worship. The beast will inherit the throne of Lucifer. Lucifer will give his throne to the beast in the end of days for the beast to be worshipped, and those who worship the beast indirectly will be worshipping Lucifer. And the scriptures is very clear that the beast will give everybody a mark without which you cannot buy, you cannot sell. And if you accept the mark of the beast, you will go to hell. So the beast is reserved for the end times. He is very dangerous, and he is going to wage war with Yeshua, Jesus Christ, in the end of days through the battle of Armageddon. He will gather the nations of the world to stage a final battle against Yeshua, and he will be defeated. In the dark kingdom, the beast goes by a number, and the book of Revelation says that his number is number 666. And definitely in the dark kingdom, Lucifer's number is 999. The beast number is 666. His assignment is to create a one-world religion for people all over the world to worship Lucifer. His assignment is also to bring one world government and to bring the mark that will take people to hell. Because if you accept the mark of the beast, your name will not be written in the Lamb's book of life, and you also receive the judgment of the Most High. So the dark kingdom is well organized. It's well organized. They have an organogram. On top you have Lucifer. Below him you have the four principalities. I've mentioned their name: Apollyon, Abaddon, Belial, and the beast. And below the four principalities you have the 8 powers, and we will deal with the 8 powers next time. And so they have an assignment. They work hand in hand, but everybody has their own assignments. And as I said earlier, Apollyon is responsible for false religion, creating people, promoting false religion among people so that people will not worship God. They will worship somebody else. They worship idols. And as I'm making this video, a lot of people are worshiping idols. And they are worshiping soccer. They are worshiping entertainment. They are worshiping football. They are worshiping so many things in the world. It's false worship. And when we're talking about false worship, it's not only worshiping a false god, it's also worshiping anything that is considered as an idolatry. And if you do that, you will not inherit the kingdom of God. And Abaddon is the principality for eternal destruction, and is going to corrupt you so that you engage in ungodly activities, whether you're talking about sexual impurities. Nowadays, Abaddon is working very hard, and he is causing people to marry animals, and so many people are engaging in so many sexual impurities that were not even in existence when God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. Is because of the work of a principality who is assigned to pollute people's habits And we also talk about Belial. Belial is responsible for wars and deaths. And how many wars are going on now? Definitely Ukraine, there's a war going on, and it's definitely as a result of the activities of the god of this planet, Belial. And wait and behold, the Pope and his agents, human agents, they are now establishing the beast system. And so we are now entering the territory of the beast. The beast is one of the four principalities, and the assignment of the beast is to create one world religion, to bring one world government, and also to bring one worship of Lucifer, and most importantly, to make war with the saints and overcome them, and to give everybody living in this world a mark on the forehead or on the finger that will constitute a sealing of Lucifer, said that those who have received the mark of this beast, this principality, will go to hell and will ultimately and eternally destroy and condemn. So know who is who in the dark kingdom. Thank you for listening to our analysis of the four principalities operating in the kingdom of darkness. Thank you.